Hey, I'm glad you are back for another episode of this marketing kind of one-on-one coaching podcast video series that we're doing. I am working with a voiceover artist. Her name is Julie OConnell, and we're going through my marketing course. It's called Modern Synergy Marketing for Voiceover. Get all the details on my website. And we're really walking step by step through this entire course. It's really an open book. And these coaching sessions I'm doing with Julie are helping her. She's I'd still put her kind of in the beginning voiceover artist category. She really just started doing all this during the lockdown and COVID. I mean, she has some clients, but she wants to bring her business to that next level. And marketing can be complicated. Marketing could be confusing. It could be expensive. But there is a new way to market your voiceover business, and that's what we're discussing. And in this particular episode, we're looking at episode number 8 this time. We are going to zoom in and identify Julie's brand, and we're going to identify her ideal product. She could do a lot of voiceover products. A lot of people try to do everything for everybody, but we want to zoom in on what is, and kind of identify what is her ideal product. What would she love to do every single day? What would her dream job, her dream voiceover job product be? And we kind of focus on that in this episode. And again, we'll start by getting an update on her studio remodel. Let's join the conversation now with Julie and myself. Wait a minute, you're in a new space.
I am untreated walls yet.
Okay, that's cool. So, but you're in. The light looks good. It's really bright in there. That's cool. Are you happy with it?
Yes. Let me show you around a tiny bit.
While you're doing that, while you grab the camera, I'm going to kind of reset if somebody is just joining us here in this video, because this is a part of a series of videos that we're doing. It's really voiceover coaching with Julie. But she had, back in, where was it? It was the beginning of the year in 2023. There was a horrible flood that just soaked. It was a natural disaster. It soaked her basement where her studio is. The Great Flood of 2023, and so it really wiped out the carpet and things, and you took this opportunity to redo your studio, which was kind of a makeshift studio in the corner of your basement. And correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong.
No, that's right. It wasn't makeshift, though. I mean, it was definitely where I wanted it to be.
Yeah, and it sounded...
It just had a sound dampening curtain right here instead of a wall.
Right, and it sounded really good, too. The way you had your sound treatment placed was great, and it was really good. So, but now you've redone everything. There's a different floor. The whole basement is refinished, basically. Everything's dry. There's no mold. You redid the drywall. I mean, everything. And so now this is the first recording. We are back into your new studio, which is really cool. I could tell you're happy. I could feel it through the camera here. It's a lot of work. It was about a month. How long did that, just to get this?
2 months.
2 months, yeah. So you're gonna build some panels. You're gonna purchase some professional panels from Gig Acoustics, maybe, possibly. And then
we'll see. I mean, I definitely need them to be specific dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So I may build all of them and get in touch with Gig on where to put them.
Yeah, they're really good at that. That's going to be great. If you have a floor plan, just measure. It could be rough, but just say, hey, there's a window here, there's a door here, and they'll do all of it. They'll say, all right, these are the things, and it's really important. And I say this in the instructions because I have a blog that talks all about this. There's a blog post on my website, but just you have to make sure you have to tell them, hey Gig Acoustics, thanks for giving. It's a room calculator. Thanks for giving me some suggestions on what treatment to buy. By the way, I'm doing voiceover. This is important. And I need the room dead, because dead means no reflections at all. If you're in a recording studio, they like a little bit of ambience. It just needs to be balanced. And that's not what we want for voiceover. We want completely no reflections. So as long as you say that, they'll come back and say, yep, put these on the ceiling. This one would go here. And then if you want to, you could purchase some, but you could also build some. It's just they're going to give you a pretty good idea of how much you need and where to put it. So what we're doing here is we are still kind of in the beginning stages of walking through the Modern Synergy Marketing course for voiceover with you. And it's just part of the voiceover coaching that we're doing. We're bringing you from where you are currently. You're upgrading your studio. We've got a custom processing preset that we've improved your sound with. When you fully move into your studio with the sound treatment, we're going to update your processing preset again. You've got your sound right, and we're working on marketing to get you close to your goals, which we identified in the last segment. And this is a series of videos that we're doing. We're really kind of walking through from the beginning all the way till we'll just continue to go as you create marketing content and stuff. So understand if you're just joining us in this video, it's maybe a good idea to kind of go back and start at the beginning just so you get the whole story. You get to know a little bit about Julie and where she's coming from and what her goals are and stuff. So we're kind of jumping right in the middle of, it's actually the, I think it's chapters 3.2 and 3.3 in the marketing course. So we're going to start with your brand. And I saw that you probably watched them before, but I saw that you made some comments last night, so you maybe freshened up. They're short, right? They're pretty quick.
Yeah.
A lot of good info, though, in there.
Oh, yes. They're great. They give me goosebumps every time.
It's good.
It's such good information. It honestly gets me choked up.
You know why I think that's happening
cool
is because, well, it's resonating. It's really like potent because it's exactly where you are in your business journey. You know what I mean? And it really it's really amplifying exactly what you need. And like, oh, it's the answers you're looking for as you're like, okay, I'm making a few bucks on voiceover. I want to make some real money and I want to get to my goals. So that's awesome. I love it.
It's so cool.
Yes. That's awesome. Kleenex break. Okay. So let's talk about your brand and this chapter. It's 3.2 and 3.3. We're going to go about
That's
doing
right.
this. It's really kind of like the next column in the voiceover marketing roadmap, which is I'm going to put it on the screen. This is the Modern Synergy Marketing Roadmap template. So we've gone through number 1. Now we're on the second column, and we're going to talk about 2 and 3 today. Let's talk about the brand. First of all, I want to walk through it with you and ask you each question, and I'm going to exactly walk through the course with you. This first one, in understanding your brand, I don't think anything was a shock because we've talked about some of this stuff before, but did it focus you a little clearer? What did it do for you?
Yes, you made it so easy to plug in the things I'd already thought about, the things I had already expressed about myself, and make it a concise branding statement. So I thought that was really cool, and to identify your brand too.
And then the second thing we're going to talk about in today's session is your product. And it's so important to understand these things before you start creating marketing material or before you start reaching out to ad agencies or whatever you're going to do. You have to know what your product. Yeah, you are the product. As a voiceover artist, if you're starting a business, you go, okay, what am I going to build widgets and these are the ones I'm going to make and stuff. But like we forget sometimes you're the product. You're the way you speak is how your product is going to be different from everybody else, and how you got to tell that story. And it's also a little challenging because you're talking about yourself. And it's like, who goes into a room and is like, hey, I'm this guy. I do these things. I do that. That's not easy, right? And you don't want to come off at the wrong way. So that happens. I know some people like that. I've always known some people like that. Some people are comfortable with it. I'll tell you that creative people, artists, people who are creative are not good at that. I think they're not good at selling themselves. For a couple reasons. They don't believe that they're good, even if they're awesomely, totally talented. That's what agents are for. It's the truth. That's why Hollywood has created that. That's what agents do. They'll sell you better than you will sell yourself. And also, sometimes there's a gift. Like sometimes you have a gift. You've always been born like an artist. Like my sister's like this. She could go like this. I'll say, what is that person? Or draw a picture of a bunny. And she's like, and she captures like the essence of a rabbit. It's like, and an expression on the rabbit's face. Like, how do you do that? She thinks it's nothing. Do you know what I mean? She's like, oh, I don't know. I just did I used to watch I had the Disney Learn How to Draw books when I was a kid. I'm like, no. You have a skill. It's different. You capture like the essence of this persona in a picture or a sketch with just a pencil. So she's not good at selling herself. And it's funny because that was clear to me. I was able to see that really clear. It's like, oh, you just think everybody can do that. And you don't know that you have a skill because it's so natural to you. That's what I think happens to a lot of us. So, coming through this and identifying our brand and everything. So I'm glad you really got that you like this. So let me talk about it, and I'll ask you the questions if you have your answers handy. And really, the reason why I want to do this podcast, I'll be completely upfront about it. I think I worked on this marketing course for over a year, and I went over it with a couple people that I thought would, that were like you while I was designing it. And I remember writing a chapter, and then they would just go, I don't get that. So I would rewrite it, and it really helped me. Like you said, you made it so clear. That's because I did it, and it didn't make sense to somebody or some people that I tested it on. You know what I mean? So I went back and forth. So I spent a ton of time to really make this. I want to make it easy for you because I want you to get from step A to step B, and for your job journey and your career and your happiness and stuff. But the reason why we're doing this, I'm walking through the course with you, and what you're here. If you're listening in on Julie and I's conversation, this is the course, and I want you to get a taste of it. We want to identify your brand. This is section 2 of the template, and we got to figure out, okay, what your brand is. Your brand is the voiceover. Your brand of voiceover is the category of voiceover that you strive to work within. And what we need to do is, you answered a series of 4 questions in the last video. We talked about those, and these really help you. The whole, I think, gist of this is, when you introduce yourself, your brand, hey, I'm Julie, voiceover artist, when you meet somebody, or when you send an email, or when you approach a client, or a client reaches you, what does your signature look like? It's your brand, right? You are a brand, you're the product. So the whole thing is, when you identify your goal, you have to be the person, you have to be the product as if your goal was already a reality. Okay. If I wanted to be a hotel mogul in Las Vegas, I would say, I'm Lenny B, Las Vegas hotel mogul. Okay. I don't want to be that. I'm not that, but that's how you would have to start branding yourself. You have to be the goal. Okay. And and marketing is perception, and perception is reality. And I'll tell you where this all comes from. It all comes from my radio experience, where marketing every day, every time you turn on the microphone on a radio show, for a morning show with a group of 5 or 10 people or characters, everything you say is marketing. So when we used to open up the mic, it's like, hey, this is Lenny on whatever radio station, number 1 in San Diego for this type of music. Were we number 1? No. Were we number 1 for this type of music? Absolutely. It depends on who you ask. But it's the presentation, it's the perception. And I'll tell you something, we became number 1 after we started implementing those marketing techniques.
Cool.
Because people, and this is the key, I'm giving you the psychology behind this whole chapter. This is the key. People assume it's human nature. So if I were to go to your website, Julie, and look at it, it's like, okay, who is this person? I read your line, and whatever your marketing line or your branding statement is, I'm going to digest that as input. Okay, I know that about her. I'm going to look at your picture. Is it well lit? Is it crappy? Is it airbrushed? Is it great? Is it capture your essence? Does it have expressions on it? Whatever that data is, that's going to add to what I think about you. It's stereotyping, right? What are you wearing? What's the background look like? Are you in a garage? Is there a trash can behind you? Or are you in a well-lit studio that has cool modern furniture, and it looks clean and it looks air conditioned, and it's like, oh, who is, I do this myself in my videos. You'll see some pretty expensive equipment behind me. That is branding. That's showing you that I am at a certain level. I do that on purpose, and everybody does it on purpose. When you walk into the Gap, or I'm dating myself, man, the Gap is not as popular as it used to be anymore. That's wrong.
I still like it.
I love it too, but that's because of our demo. My point is, when you walk in, there's a greeter that says something, and there's a whole reason for that. You're going to see certain things when you walk into a store. It's well lit for a certain reason. So when you're the product, we have to do this branding for you. So let me go jump back a few things, because I got off on a tangent there about the Gap. People assume So my thing and my suggestion for you is people are going to assume they're going to take this data and think something about you and your brand. Tell them what you think. Tell them what you want them to know about you and your product. I'm Lenny B, hotel mogul in Las Vegas. And you say it with confidence. So your first line, it's the introduction. You're feeding them what you want them to know about you. And you have to dress important if you want to be treated important, right? You've heard that before. You have to be the role before you can get the role. That's an acting thing, right? It's the same thing. So with all that said, tell me your brand. What is your brand?
Voiceover artist for meditations and affirmations.
Awesome. And the reason, and if you watch the previous episode of our conversation, you'll see that we identified that as your goal. That is your passion. That is your gift. That's what you want to do. That is, if you want to get to your goal, you would love to be doing those type of voiceovers. Those are the things that are going to make you happy and make you feel fulfilled. So what we're doing is we're branding you as somebody who does just that. Now, our marketing pieces in the next coming sections of the chapters and things, we're going to attract exactly those type of people. Then you're going to do that work, which is going to lead you to your goal. So wonderful. Your brand positions your business correctly in the market. Your brand actively lets customers know that you have this particular service to provide. It's going to connect you with the people looking for your skill, your superpower, and we know that that's what you love to do. That kind of meditation voiceover makes you happy. You listen to it because you're a fan of it. You love it, and you want to do more of it. So your brand suggests what you want people to presume about your business. Human nature to make assumptions and measure you from your name, your title, your description, your picture, all that stuff. So tell them what to think, and you've done that wonderfully. Okay, let's go to B. So the second part of section 2 is really just a bigger, expanded version of that with some more detail. I just got an email today. Somebody said, "Hey, Lenny, I just joined, I think it's Mandy.com. I'm not familiar with Mandy.com, and I believe it's a voiceover thing. Are you familiar with them?"
I am a little bit. It's similar to Fiverr.
Okay. Well, he said, "Hey, I'm just wanted to ask you, what do you think every job that I apply for wants a cover letter? And what should I write? Should I keep it short? What should I put in there?" I'm like, that's interesting that you're saying that, because I knew you and I were going to have this conversation today, and we're talking specifically about this. Well, I told him the bio writing course will tell you exactly what to do, which is free, by the way. If you go to lennyb.com, the bio writing course is basically an introduction to this marketing course that you're hearing about right now. And it'll do that. It'll tell you. So here's what I wrote back to him. I said, the bio writing course will give you the right information, providing you're going after a job that supports your skill set and your superpower. Because if you're going after a job that is totally outside of your wheelhouse, it's not a skill that you have, let somebody else that loves doing that, let them do it. Don't waste your time on it. You're just going to get a big fat no. It's going to hurt your ego. You're going to feel crappy about yourself. You're going to go, why can't I do this? Why can't I follow my dreams? I'm trying to think of something like, I'm trying to think of a good example to illustrate that. Is like, I'm not a racehorse jockey. I'm not going to try to do that. You know what?
I'm not going to apply for the job.
Not going to apply for that job. I know there's somebody else that's going to do so much better. I'll go and check them out. It's cool. I could be a fan. You could like it. You could appreciate it. But you don't have to be everything for everybody. And actually, one of the things I think I said in this course, which I really liked, is I think it may be in the next section. The whole idea is we've been trained for the last century to believe that fame or celebrity is the goal. It's not. And even some social media. You don't want to make everybody happy. It's the opposite. You want to be more niche, and you don't need a large audience for success. To be honest, I think the days of the Michael Jackson's world famous icon, I think those days are over. I think it's going to be a long time until we see a world famous name again. And it's the reason is it's the way people digest content now. Everybody's got their own stream. and just ask your kids, ask your nieces and nephews, ask younger brothers and sisters. It's like, hey, what are you into? They'll tell you like 5, 6 names, and you've never heard of them. Yes,
That's
it's
right.
because I'm a lot older than they are. But then you ask somebody else, oh, I love this, 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 and this. They're awesome. And they're totally different. Everybody's got their own stream. Everybody's looking at what they want. And the same
And I
is going to...
love it.
Yeah, it's great because this is a huge opportunity for you as a product that has a skill, but you have to be specific and you have to have a brand, and your brand has to be very, very specific. But what a great opportunity. The truth is, I shouldn't even say this. I feel bad. It's because radio is in my DNA. I feel bad saying this, but I think it's one of the reasons why the radio industry, the television industry, they're kind of imploding. It's because everybody is subscribing to what they want.
Now we get to choose what we want to watch and want to listen to on demand.
A la
Why
carte.
would we not? Why would we do anything else?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and you could also make a better connection with somebody. You could find somebody that's we're going to be doing some traveling, and my wife and I were watching like tourist videos, like, hey, the top 10 things to do in this city. I'm like, how cool. And they're like, and they've got we found a couple that is doing travel videos, and it's like on that city, and they talk about the 10 things to do, what to be careful of, don't waste your time. And then they've got like 10,000, 15,000 views on this one video, and I don't know how many thousands and thousands of subscribers. They have an audience on a niche. Nobody knows. They don't have to be world famous, and they could actually be very successful doing what they're doing. Now they've got travel companies that want to team with them. Now they have tours that they're putting together. They've got restaurants that want them to come to their restaurant for a review because they have an audience. It's quite beautiful. It's quite beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love.
You're gonna get me all choked up again.
I love it. I love it that you're just right at this part. The lessons that I've maybe I'll say it this way: the mistakes I've made and the lessons I've learned are now really, really feeding you because you're at the right place at the right time.
I agree.
Read to me your branding statement, which
I'm all
is
squishy today, Lenny.
What's that? I love it. That's good.
I'm all squishy today.
What is it? Humid in there? What is it? The weather? What's happening?
I don't know. I just feel so excited. It's just
good. That's great. That's awesome. Your brand parallels your voiceover goal. How you use your brand is also vital to your modern synergy marketing effort. And let's see. You must be these are good. Let me just hit these real quick before we get your branding statement. Your brand's got to include your brand should be included in every piece of marketing. So you always have to say your brand in every piece of marketing.
Right.
You have to be consistent with your brand, because if I were to say, "Hey, I'm Lenny B, Las Vegas hotel mogul," I love that. I love that. That's my example.
I like that example.
And then and then the next marketing material, I'd go, "Hi, I'm Lenny B, Las Vegas condo expert." It's like driving by a restaurant and they change the sign just a little bit every time. It's like, what are you doing? You're validating the expectations of repeat customers. You don't want to do that. So you have to make sure your branding is consistent. And you could always change it, but once you get your brand, stay with it and lean into it. That's another thing I always say is, and I'm guilty of this all the time. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. That's the radio thing they used to say. Say the name. Hey, I'm Lenny B, voiceover audio engineer. Let's make your voice sound better. Don't go, and this is what I do all the time. I fix it and I'll stop and do take two. Hey, it's Lenny B, voiceover audio engineer. Let's make your voice sound better. Blah, blah, blah. And then I throw it away. But you have to give it the value that you want. Your brand deserves the value, and it deserves the time, and it deserves the emphasis. I'm Lenny B, voiceover audio engineer. Let's make your voice sound better. Take the time, lean into it, bite on every word, and you're especially, this should make sense to all voiceover artists. It's important to do that. Give your brand the value. Deliver your brand with the emotion, time, and confidence it deserves. Don't throw it away. Okay, I'm going through the slides here. So, all right, and then we did the examples. What did you think about the examples in the?
Perfect.
Yeah, it illustrates.
Those examples really help me know that I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
And choosing the right parts to plug in and things like that.
Yep. Yeah, it helps you feel like, okay, I'm on track.
Right. And it also is interesting to see that other people are so different. Like you said, everyone has their own superpower, like you say.
Yeah, one of
So
the things.
therefore, we're not in competition for me with each other. You said that, and I
Yes,
was
I
like,
love that. I didn't even. I mean, like I kind of stumbled upon that towards the end of writing this course. I thought to myself, wow, that's a cool thing. If everybody follows this idea and you amplify and be yourself and be really, because everybody's different. If you really are true and following your goal is not going to be the same. Your specialty will not be the same as anyone else. You're not competing with anybody.
it's it's so exciting and interesting. It's
Cool.
perfect.
Your branding statement is created by using the information from the answers to the voiceover goal questions, and that's what we used at the beginning. A couple actually was in the last podcast episode. You could see what your goal questions were. What's my dream job? What's my voiceover gift? What skill and talent am I naturally good at? And what things am I naturally drawn to? And you took some time, which is great. I think you modified some stuff. We dove into each one of those categories, and we got to the true essence of what you want to do, what you like, and when we get, I'm saying this because I know that we're both approximately the same age. We get to our age, you know what I'm right? You feel good in your own skin. You know yourself. You know who you are, and it's time to like, okay, now I'm going to do my stuff. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't care
Yes.
about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool
For
to
sure.
focus and to find out what you want. And here's the line I was looking at before. Your intent is not to convince as many people as possible that you could be their solution. That's a reflex. I think we automatically think that a good job is to make all of our clients or potential clients happy. It's not. Instead, your goal is to create a roadmap between you and your potential ideal customers with whom you can create a synergy. So the customer that is looking for a voiceover and is looking for a meditation voiceover, you're going to be perfect for, right? And because your brand says that and they know that. If somebody's looking for a voiceover, but it's they may like your voice, they may like your style, they may still hire you if it's not on maybe it's not a meditation thing. That's fine too, but what you really want to do is if you want to reach your goal of doing voiceover meditation and have a steady stream of clients, you have to market in that particular vein and in that direction. So let's talk about your branding statement. Pulling some of those things from section 1 now, pulling them over. Your dream job, your voiceover gift, your skills and talents, and the things you're naturally drawn to. We're kind of just taking single concepts or ideas from those 4 questions and putting them into a paragraph, right? It's really what we're kind of doing.
Yeah.
Read that one for me.
Okay. It says, meditation voiceover artist with a soothing, captivating delivery. I specialize in guided meditations and affirmations and am passionately familiar with the law of attraction and the power of the mind.
Boy, that to me, that when I hear that and knowing about what we've discussed, I'm like, if somebody is looking for a meditation voiceover, that's like going to be a magnet. They're going to be like, oh my God, this person gets it. I think they know what I'm looking for. And then tell me, how excited are you, like antsy to send that out? Like, because it's
It's so awesome.
good, right? I would be too. I'd be
Don't make me
proud
start
of.
crying again.
I love it. It's wonderful because it's like super condensed, concentrated, exactly what you
Yeah.
want and powerful. Yeah, because we've broken it all down and it comes from really what you want. It's totally backwards, right? It's inverse. I'm not trying to
Yes.
convince anybody. I'm saying, this is me. This is what I'm good at. I'm asking the universe to bring these things to me. So now what we're really going to do, and I'll kind of just flash forward and give you, we're going to give you an idea of where this is going, because I think this is also important to kind of drop this here, keep you more excited, and also let people know. We're going to create marketing pieces, and those could be videos. Those could be pictures. Those could be paragraphs with a picture on social media. We are going to state who you are, what you're great at, how to get in touch with you, and why you're the best choice. And we're going to teach people why you will help their product create a stronger emotional connection. with you on the team, you're going to help create a better emotional connection that will allow their product to just be better and get to the higher level. That's I know that sounds deep, and we're going to break that all down, but it'll become, you'll get better at each time you make a marketing piece. It's going to have all these ingredients, and it just draws people based on what we said before. People search for what they're looking for. So there's a lot of people out there in this entire world market that are looking for exactly, Julie, your voice and your specialty for a meditation. They're looking for that. But right now, if you type in Google, you're not one of the roadmaps. You're not one of the potentials. So now that we've identified what that is, we're going to start building. It's like the Dewey Decimal System in the library when we were kids. Remember that? I never really figured that out. I was just dumb. I was a dreamer. I think I was just, I was a dreamer. I was just not studying. I didn't pay attention. But it's like, now that I understand what that is, it's like that, which is basically the internet, right? If somebody's looking for something specific, they're going to find your index card, and that's really what it is. And then we're going to make not just one index card, we're going to make 10, 15, 30. Every day, we're going to keep building index cards. So when somebody, and I'll give you an example, I'm just going to prove this to you. If you go from anywhere in the world, wherever you are, if you type in, how do I make my voiceover sound better? I'm going to pop up, me. It's so crazy. But why? It's because I did what we just told you. I came at it from the other way around. I was making videos. I failed a bunch of times. I was making videos. I'm like, how come nobody's like digging my videos? I would say, hey, here's how to make your voice sound better if you're using an iPhone. Or I was doing stock music for creators. I was doing all these different things, and I didn't figure out my brand. And I kept making videos, but it wasn't resonating, and people weren't asking me questions, and it wasn't driving them to any products or anything. But what I did is I go, okay, Lenny, stop. Why isn't this working? This is after the 5th time. And it was, I said, okay, what are you good at? What should I be making videos at? What do you love? What are your strengths? What are the things that you do naturally? What have you always been drawn to? And the DBX 286S video was the first one that I did, where it was like, it's my wheelhouse. I love that thing. And it's just, I could tile it in. And when I was at work for the last 30 years, everybody would go, I don't know, it doesn't sound good, call Lenny. And then I'd come in and go, oh, well, your gain knob is blah, 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 and I would fix it. But that's my thing. I love those things, and I own them. I knew how to use them all, and I was the guy that could fix that stuff. That skill translates, and that idea of that skill, I packaged it and put it into a video, and then all of a sudden it's like, bink, that's when people started paying attention. But it was, and then I kind of like dissected a little bit. Okay, why is this happening? And then I did another one. Maybe it didn't do as good, and then I said, oh, well, let's try it this way. And then I went back and forth, failed a little bit, and then fixed it, and then fine-tuned it and fixed it. And I came up with a recipe of these are the 4, 5, 6 things that you have to have in your marketing videos. If you have these in your marketing videos, it pulls the people towards you, and then you have clients. And that's what this marketing course is. So I just want you to know that's where we're going. Okay.
I love it.
I love your branding statement, by the way. Okay, and the next thing we're going to talk about in this episode here today, I'm going through the slides of the course. It's good. I'm so proud of it. I really am. I think it's good. See, the next thing. Good. The next thing we're going to talk about is, so now we come to your product, and yes, your product. We already know it's, you want to do voiceover for meditation, and that's your product, but we need to go a little bit deeper, and we need to know exactly what that means from, I like to think about it as like, what do you want to do? Like, okay, you could get a bunch of meditation requests to do voiceover, but then there's like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. Oh my God, this is going to be good. I can't wait to do this one. And then you do that one first and you put the other one on the back burner. It's like, understanding the type of product that you want to offer and detailing that is going to allow you to do several things. It's going to lead, first of all, it's going to lead you to the goal that you want, right? Delivering this product, when we figure out exactly, we're going to detail what your best ideal product is and
Okay.
it's the ideal product that we're going to offer to ideal clients. When you know the details, it's going to it's got to take advantage of your gift. Your natural voice is good at this type of product. And the reason why is that's going to be easier for you than if you're doing something that you're not good at, right? It should totally come natural. And it also, when something comes natural, you're passionate about it, it's easy for you. That's another reason why somebody would choose you over a competitor, right? They would say,
Yeah.
well, Julie, she doesn't even have to try. She just does it and it sounds exactly the way I want it. Versus somebody being, a competitor is going to be trying to be, that happens all the time. People say, well, I wish my voice was more like this, or I'd like to be a voiceover that sounds more like this guy. No, be you. Identify you. But you don't even know what are your specialties and stuff. So your product should be the same thing. When we identify this product is going to be effortless for you. It's going to take advantage of your gifts, and it's going to allow you to speak on a subject that you are naturally drawn to, experienced with, and passionate about. Now, we kind of discussed this already, but it's just I want to reemphasize that now. When you find out what the best product is for you, it's going to check all these boxes, and we just kind of discussed exactly what that is. This is good. Offering a niche product may feel like you're shrinking your potential market. So if you say, God, I want to be a voiceover, I want to start making money, I want to go from making $10 for a 60-second script, but I want to start to do this full time eventually. How do I do that if I'm narrowing my marketing field? Well, it may feel like you're alienating potential customers and leaving money on the table. It feels like that. You're not. You're not minimizing your reach. Mass appeal products with broad messaging, that concept, that idea that's the traditional mindset. Offering a niche product supercharges your marketing effort when you use this modern synergy marketing model. So we are leaning on, yeah, I know you said that in the comment, which is pretty cool. We're leaning on the fact that the internet gives us a world market, billions of people around the world looking for you and your product. And you've already experienced this. You've got people from Italy reaching out to you, saying, I'd love your voice. I'd like to, do this. It's all over the world. And I'm always astonished, from London to Dubai to people in Canada, and different languages are contacting me constantly. When you follow this roadmap and you exude your confidence and your passion and your skill, and you say what it is with those really important ingredients in each one of your marketing pieces, they come to you. For example, I want to give you an example. If your voiceover product is commercial voiceover, you're among thousands of commercial voiceover people. However, if your marketing niche is voiceover artist for science fiction audiobooks, and that's something that's more specific, that supercharges. And the deeper you go, the further you get specific. Now, there is a limit. You could kind of go like, right, right. I mean, you could say,
Yeah.
I do voiceover in the style of this character, and I only use every other letter. There's not going to be a lot of people looking for that, right?
Get me that specific.
Yeah, it's got to be. Here's what I think. If you're into it, if you're truly passionate about it, and you've searched for it, and you study it, and you buy products on that, in that niche, you know what I mean? If it's something that you're into,
yes.
There's a ton of other people that are into it.
Yes.
There's balance. I mean, I know you know this, but common sense plays into a little bit as well. But still, I mean, we want to focus on kind of what you're doing. Okay. And before we get to your product, because I want to hear what you've written for your product, which may only be one line. I know we're ramping this up to be a big bit. So it's okay.
Don't build it up. It's not that great.
That's it? What, Julie? That's all you're gonna offer? No. I want to just add a couple more things. My mom used to say this, and I thought it's so funny. My mom has passed now, but the wisdom of her years hits me so much, and I love that I've included this. My mom used to say this specific phrase to me, and I didn't see the value of it, and it just kind of made so much sense here in this. She used to say, there's a buyer for every seller. And my dad used to go to antique stores, and they used to do a lot of antiquing and stuff like that when I was a kid. I remember them doing that, and flea markets and the whole thing. And, I remember they were into that, to collecting things and whatever. But there's a buyer for every seller. That's why eBay exists. It's the truth. So the point, how to connect this to you is there is somebody looking exactly for what you have. And they're out there. There's many people out there. They have to know how to find you. You have to create a roadmap. You have to say, yes, I do what you're looking for. And then, but it doesn't stop there. Here's how to get more of what I do. Here's how to see more examples. Let me illustrate it for you. Let me show you. Let me prove it to you. And then if you'd like to work with me, and then one more thing, I'll tell you what, I'll do this for you for free just so you could see how good it is. And if it works, we could work together. There's a bunch of things that you could do to reach out to somebody, but it becomes really easy. I hate being the sleazy sales guy. I don't like that.
Right.
But what's really cool about this is you're never that. What you're actually doing by connecting with somebody that is truly looking for your specialty, you're really helping them and they're helping you. It's a symbiotic relationship. How cool is that? You're actually, if they're following their dreams, you are helping them follow their dreams by adding yourself to their product. How cool is that? That makes me feel like, wow, how beautiful. What a cool little synergy thing. This is the silver lining of the internet, some of the things that allows people to connect, the information superhighway, to be able to connect with somebody you'd have to travel over, hundreds of miles. They've got to find that roadmap. And I just thought that was really kind of important. All right. I've got some, in the course, I do some examples of products for some other voiceover people so you can see what they have. Lay it on me. Let me hear what you've got. What did you come up with for a particular product?
I said guided meditation, affirmation recordings with music.
Okay. And I know that, yeah. And it's good that you put with music. And I know that that's one of the things you love to do. You want to incorporate the production because you like compression and EQ and you want to do that. It's really an add-on. I think that's a great skill, an extra skill to say, hey, I know how to do that. And we should definitely amplify that. I think that's going to be in some of your marketing material as well to say hey, I also do these things and I'm good at this stuff too, because it's just another part of your skill set. So, by you coming up with marketing material that says these products and this particular thing, would you, let me ask you kind of the backwards question now. If you were to have 10 orders of that, would that make you feel fulfilled? Is that what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would love that.
And if you were doing that and not another type, which you can do other things, people may ask you, people are going to ask you, hey, last year we worked on this meditation thing. I have a buddy that is looking for a voice. I thought you'd be great. I enjoyed our interaction. You were on time, which you delivered was great. Would you consider doing something like this? And now you could say, well, yeah, but it's not my specialty. I could do it, maybe a little more expensive, but everybody's got a price. You could do whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm slow during these months for the meditation, and I'll entertain it. Or have them send me the details. I'll take a look. I can't promise anything. Then you're like,
okay.
Then you're like, then you're in the position to where you become like, all right, these are the opportunities. How opposite is this from working on those platforms, right?
Completely. It's not ideal, that's for sure. Because you are selling yourself and you're selling yourself short, because a lot of the times I'm doing projects for a lot less than I would normally charge, because you're like, well, it's something.
And you're doing stuff that you don't want to do. It's like you're bending your, you're changing your expectations, your goal, your weight. It's like you're wasting your time. Yeah, this is like, okay, I'm taking a stand. This is what I want to do. I'm going to market myself as this, and it gives you ammunition to, okay, what do I do next? Now I know what to do next. Now I know, the opposite is, okay, how hard can I work today to just please somebody and hopefully that they're going to pay me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's empowering. I think this marketing is empowering. So I feel like we've done a nice good chunk of the marketing today, and what you've done a great job. I love what you've written. I think we're right on track. And the next thing, before we go, so this will be kind of a little bit of a precursor to the next episode of our discussion and what I want to talk with you about next time. Before we go to the next part of the modern synergy marketing roadmap template, which is really your content. We're going to talk about putting together a video for you, putting together your marketing content. I want to talk to you first. We're going to talk about SEO. And right away, when people hear the word SEO, they go, "Oh my God, it's so complicated, and I don't understand." And I did the same thing. And there's a way to kind of look at SEO. And by the way, if you don't know what it is, it's how the internet kind of attracts certain. Let me see how I can simplify this. It's how the internet search connects people looking for something with people that have the information. It's really the way the internet, the power of internet. It's all about search. SEO stands for search engine optimization. And it gets complicated when people try to game the system. How familiar on a scale of 1 to 10 are you with SEO?
5, 6.
Okay, I'd say that's pretty average. That's what probably most people. So you kind of have an idea. Give me just an idea. Hit me with it. Tell me if you had to describe what SEO is.
Well, I know that if you, for instance, my website, because I built it from the ground up, just learning how to do it myself. And I know that if you type the right buzzwords, keywords, I should say, into certain areas, that's the part where I have the question marks.
Yes.
Then that will connect the people who put that in their browser to you.
Right. The keywords kind of are the ones that connect. And then what happens is, though, it's kind of human nature to go, okay, what are the right keywords? What are the keywords? There aren't any specific keywords that are going to do it. You really just, it's a way that you look at it differently. We're going to talk about that because I want it to, if you look at it a particular way, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about keyword searches and where the ranking.
Tags.
I mean, you could go in a black hole and with Google and applications, and there's people that study just that and do SEO and optimize for sales. We're not talking about SEO for a corporation. We're just talking about making sure that somebody who's looking for your skill can find you. And if you dumb it down, and if you look at SEO and approach it a specific way, it's simple. It's really, really simple, and it works. And I'll tell you this. I'm not an SEO superstar. I'm not an SEO expert, but you found me, right?
Yes, I did.
And that's all that matters.
And often.
Right.
A lot of questions I ask, and often you pop up.
Right. I would pop up. So what I did worked for me as a single person looking to connect with people. And yes, I'm not attracting a client like you as a voiceover artist. Like, you're not coming to me for a voiceover spoken recording. Like, that's not my product, but it's the same thing. Marketing is marketing. My product is consulting and helping people get their voiceover audio better, helping voiceover artists become more successful and connect better with their audience. And that's what you searched for, and that's what you found. But all I'm asking you is I want you to use SEO the same way, and it will work. Simple. It's not complicated. It's actually really easy. If you don't try to game the system, it's a breeze. And that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode of Las Vegas Hotel Moguls with Lenny and Julie.